Most of the recent high-end smartphones now boast blazing fast refresh rates that include 90 Hz, 120 Hz, and even some phones come with 165 Hz. All this sounds really great and all, but do you really need more than 60 Hz refresh rates on your smartphone? Or do you have any idea how the refresh rate works? Well, to help you with these questions, in our video today, we're going to explain the display refresh rate to let you know how it works. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so let's understand the refresh rates. First of all, your smartphone's display is not static because every pixel constantly updates the display to make your content and motion appear smooth on your smartphone screen. In other words, all content on your display is made up of individual photos that come in sequence at a very high speed, which is known as refresh rate. This refresh rate is measured in hertz, which indicates how often the frame can change every second. A refresh rate of 60 Hz displays can deliver 60 frames per second, 90 Hz is 90 times per second, and others obviously you can guess. As you can see here, the 120 Hz display is able to refresh more images, which is 2 times faster than the 60 Hz panel and 4 times faster than the 30 Hz. Also, it's important to note down that in some cases, frame rate is limited and is expressed as frames per second. For example, movies usually run at 24 FPS because of the cinematic standard, whereas most video games can go up to 120 Hz. So, more frames per second means you can see smoother and sharper. Faster update times also mean lower latency. A 60 Hz display takes 16.6 milliseconds to refresh, 90 Hz takes 11.1 milliseconds, whereas a 120 Hz display takes just 8.3 milliseconds to refresh. In any case, only having the higher refresh rate display won't bring you benefits if specs are not good enough to produce more FPS. You will get higher FPS when the GPU and CPU work together. So, if your smartphone's GPU and CPU are incapable of supplying the frame rate that your display supports, then it won't be able to produce a high refresh rate image. For example, your smartphone supports a 120 Hz refresh rate, but the system is producing 60 frames per second, so in that case, the higher refresh rate is not being utilized. Now, do you really need more than 60 Hz? Well, Razer phone was the first one to come with a higher refresh rate, and it was mainly focused on gaming. After that, manufacturers like Samsung, Google, and Apple adopted it in their flagship devices like the Galaxy S22 Ultra and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. As you might already know, higher refresh rate displays ensure smoother and snappier animation while switching through apps or browsing. Also, it will give you more comfort than a 60 Hz display while watching content. You can even find more meaningful benefits in fast motion content, and obviously, we're talking about video games. Playing games at a higher refresh rate can give you a substantial impact on your gaming experience because every frame counts. It reduces visual latency and delivers smoother gameplay. However, for high frame rate gaming, your device needs a powerful processor too. So, when you're about to buy a smartphone for gaming, it's best to keep that in mind. Unfortunately, there is a problem with having a higher refresh rate. It will cost you more battery life than usual. Refreshing the image in a higher frame per second requires more battery power, and time by time, it will drain your smartphone's battery capacity relatively faster. For that reason, some companies came up with the LTPO display and dynamic refresh rate that can go way down to 1 Hz from 120 Hz. So, after all these discussions, it should be pretty clear how the refresh rate works and the ways to utilize most of it. Having a lower configured smartphone with a higher refresh rate display won't make any difference. At the same time, lower display refresh rate with high-end specs keeps you limited. So, there needs to be a proper combination for making the more than 60 Hz display refresh rate an actual worthy feature. In short, higher refresh rates can give you a smoother viewing experience. It can make your smartphone more responsive and speedy, and gamers who play fast-paced games like Apex Legends or PUBG will feel the most benefit. Otherwise, for regular use, 60 Hz is okay. So, what do you think? We would love to hear from you. Please let us know in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching our video. Like and share with your friends if you found this video to be helpful, and subscribe to our channel if you want more videos like this on your feed.